What up? It's Corey. I ran a Spartan race.
Hi, I'm Thomas Henson, and I won a Spartan race. What do you mean I didn't win? You mean this was just a finisher medal? Ready to go? Thomas Henson here with the Big Data Beard team, and here is our wrap-up from the Spartan race. So if you've been following along, you've probably seen where we've talked a little bit about some of the fundraising we're doing for our Sam Foundation around the Spartan race and the event that was held in Boston in November. So hear from me and the other team members about kind of what we thought about the Spartan race.
Hey everyone, it's Erin Banks from the Big Data Beard, and I just wanted to thank you so much for all of your support in our participation at the Spartan Sprint event at Fenway Park.
Hey, Brett Roberts here from the Big Data Beard team. I am just about to go on a quick 3-mile run. It's a beautiful fall day here in Boston. It's about 40 degrees, a little bit of wind, but as you can see behind me, pretty clear out there. So as I run, we're going to stop a few times and talk about the Spartan race.
I ran the Spartan race for a couple of reasons. One, I needed an excuse to get off the couch and start training a little bit for something. And a Spartan race or an event like that is a great motivator. I also wanted to have an event that we could connect to a specific charity. And we were excited to partner with our Sam Foundation to help fight the opioid crisis and to raise money for those folks who are trying to fight their way out of that awful disease and need some help.
So our Sam Foundation is something that I'm on the board of, and it's something that's very near and dear to my heart since I lost my cousin to an overdose a couple years ago. So we've been raising money to give scholarships to people that are in recovery and they just need a little bit of help. And I've seen it in action, and it's amazing the things that we've been able to do. So I thank you for everything that you've done for us, not only just our support, but the support to our Sam Foundation.
I was honored to run to support the Sam Foundation. Addiction is a horrible thing, and it's an epidemic in this country, so really happy that we could help support an organization that fights that. It's a very honorable cause, and I'm glad that the Big Data Beard team was able to support that.
So running for the Sam Foundation was a real highlight for us because it gave us an opportunity to talk with our coworkers, our friends, our social networks about this awful crisis that we know as the opioid crisis. And many of us have personal connections to this crisis through family and friends who have fought this awful disease, to knowing folks who have passed away because of their struggle with this awful pandemic or epidemic, and even friends and family now right in the middle of the fight. And so the Sam Foundation offers a great opportunity for those folks who can't otherwise afford that clean living, that sobriety program that can help them bridge the gap between rehab and re-entering normal life. It was awesome. And so we were super excited to raise money for that incredible organization and hope that they continue to have great success with groups like us.
I did the Spartan race because I'd never done one. It's something that's been on my bucket list for a while. I've been wanting to get into doing an obstacle course race. I'm not really sold on, if it's something that, I wanted to do. I was a little bit nervous, but, when we were approached, as a team and other people started talking about it on the team, I was like, you know what, this is a great opportunity, one, to go to Boston and hang out with the other Big Data Beard team members, and then also just to be able to kind of knock it off and say, hey, I've checked this off the list to be able to do. So it's pretty cool to be able to do, and I really liked training for the event and the kind of unknown for it. And then it didn't hurt that it was at in Boston, right? I mean, I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me to be able to go and see Fenway Park. I'd never been, legendary stadium, hang out with the team, and also raise money for a great cause. Why not?
My favorite part of the Spartan race had to have been the Herc hoist. And that shouldn't be all that big of a surprise because, as you can tell, I am the largest member of the Big Data Beard team, and my ability to pull heavy things, in this case a very large sandbag connected to a rope and a pulley system, I was able to pull it up very, very easily because my body weight acted as a counterbalance, which was an advantage at that one single event.
So I absolutely loved the experience. It was so much fun and great to be with my friends and getting their support because I'm out of shape and I was jet lagged because I just landed the night before from Barcelona. So I wasn't really doing my best, but the guys were great and so much support, and it was so much fun. Even though the weather was horrible and it was cold and windy, we really made the most of it and really had a great time, which is really why I love doing all of this. And it means the world to me that we were able to support our SAM Foundation.
I think my favorite event at the Spartan race had to have been the rope climb. It's been about 6 years since I climbed a rope. It was challenging back then. Didn't know if I could do it today, but was able to do it. Get about 3/4 of the way up and then get back down. So by far the most rewarding event at the race.
My favorite part of the Spartan race, besides just hanging out with the team and, being able to talk and just have fun, and kind of bond with everybody, had to be the rope climb. I hadn't climbed a rope probably in about a month and a half to 2 months. It's something that I actually think I just knocked off this year. So first time in my life at 37, I was able to climb a rope. But I got injured right before we started doing our training and everything. So I had about 14 stitches in my thumb here. And so I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to do it. So when we got to the rope climb, we had already been through quite a few events, up almost every step in the stadium. And so I was really, really kind of nervous. It was a different rope, a little bit smaller than what I'd done before. And like I said, it had been 2.5, maybe even 3 months since I'd tried climbing a rope. But I was able to scale it, and I was able to knock that off. And I was so excited to be able to do that portion.
My least favorite part of the event was probably the things I couldn't do, which were the like the rings where you were trying to swing across a 30-foot frame, basically like monkey bar rings, because I had to do burpees, and having to do burpees is actually easier than the rings, but it still generally stinks.
Least favorite part had to be the wall climb. I'm like 6'3". I thought I could get over that wall. I thought it would be pretty easy. I was able to get over, I think it was the 7 foot. So I was able to scale that 7 foot, but when it came to the 8 foot, that extra foot, I couldn't get over it. And I tried so many times. Like I had bruises all over my knees where I tried to jump up there and tried to get up. So, it was definitely difficult. And not only did I tried twice, and there were 2 8-foot walls. But each time I went to the 7 foot, no problem, man. I was able to pop up over. So definitely really hurt my feelings, if I'm being honest. So beyond being the least favorite thing, it was really soul crushing for me to not be able to scale over that wall.
I'd probably say my least favorite part was running through the little kind of parts of the chairs, right? You had to run through all of the individual rows, up and down and in between, and some of those, it's tight. That's an old ballpark, and it was really, really tight, and it had rained, and it was a little slippery, but it was so much fun, and everyone was great, and even the other participants were great, and nobody yelled at me to go faster, so that was always nice. Thanks everyone.
So my least favorite event at the Spartan race had to have been the bag pull. This is a 100-pound bag that was in the rain for a couple hours, attached to a rope that's suspended through a pulley system, and you had to pull it up about 35 feet. I'm not the biggest on the team, so my weight definitely did not act as a positive for this. I had to use a lot of upper body strength, and it definitely took me a long time to get the bag up there. And then the other event that I hated was the monkey bars, and that's just because I can't do them. I'm not coordinated at all, so I just skipped them. I did the burpees and went on to the next event.
Now, Boston was really cold. It was mostly cold when we weren't moving, and there tended to be quite a bit of not moving in preparation for the race as we were, walking through the Fenway Park and getting to it. And the problem was you had to get rid of all your luggage or your, sweatshirts and your heavy stuff that you didn't want to run in ahead of time. So that pre-race kind of 30 minutes of staging was the coldest by far. And then there were some pretty cold times when we got to the top of Fenway where there was just no barricade for the wind and the rain just to blow through you because it was wet and cold. So yeah, it really was that cold.
So the weather in Boston, I don't know if other people knew this, but it is cold in November. So I didn't expect it to be that cold. And honestly, I did not know, maybe, shame on me for not knowing that Boston is so windy, like ridiculously windy. So, there was definitely some challenges there as far as staying warm. I didn't pack as warm as I probably should have, but honestly, once the race got started, I was fine. So, I wore a short sleeve shirt and kind of had like an Under Armour thing under it that helped out. But like I said, just standing and waiting, oh man, it was so frigid. So, I mean, the question really is, will I do another one? I'll do another one if the team does another one around the stadium series. But for me, if I was going to do another one, this one was a sprint. So I think roughly they figured out anywhere from 3 to 5 miles in the stadium editions. I was pretty scared when I was running through Fenway. The stadium is old and it's very narrow, and I'm a pretty big guy. So I had to really focus, and it was rainy too. I had to really focus on where I was placing my feet so I didn't tumble down the stairs in front of everybody and knock out some other people too. So I don't know. I'd have to see. I'd say today, if you ask me today, I'm probably not going to run, for sure not a sprint. But maybe in the future I'll see something. I don't know. Let's find out from some of the other Big Data Beard team members if they're going to do another one, and then I'm sure they can convince me to do one too.
And that's how I felt about the Spartan race. I would absolutely do it again. I would like to be, again, in better shape. I think as all of us, we want to get to that, top of the hierarchy of our own personal performance. And it made me realize how much longer I have to go. But it was certainly an enjoyable experience, mostly because I got to do it with my friends from the Big Data Beard team.
So I would love to maybe do a Spartan Sprint again, but only if I've trained for it, and maybe in a warmer location, because it was cold and it was windy, but we got to go back to Fenway Park after the Red Sox had just won the World Series, and that was great because I just moved from Boston, so I love that, and I love being able to see the different parts of Fenway Park, but when you're like gasping for air, sometimes you don't really stop and see the beautiful park in itself, so I don't know. It was a great experience though, and that's all that matters.
I would definitely do the Spartan race again next year. It was a lot of fun, especially when you have a team to motivate you and support you and just to laugh as you go through the race. So definitely recommend it. And if you do it with the team. Next year though, I'm going to train for it. Thomas, you're going down. We're racing next year. I'm coming for you. Start getting ready now.
So thank you everyone for your support. We really mean it. We couldn't do it without you, and it means just the world to us. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Hey, if you enjoy the Big Data Beard, please hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you give us some feedback on things that you'd like to see us talk about in future episodes of the Big Data Beard. And don't forget, our podcast is available in all of your favorite podcast apps. Hit subscribe there as well.
So unfortunately, I wasn't able to train as much as I wanted to for this event. But I would say if you were going to do a Spartan race, especially one in a stadium, make sure you do a lot of stairs and do a lot of upper body workouts like bag workouts and stuff like that.
So I did a Spartan Sprint a couple weeks ago, and probably the one thing I learned from it is that I'm out of shape. This may be good because it got me working out again. Man, it kicked my butt. So I highly recommend you do some training beforehand. So thank me.